Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Positively You podcast. I'm so excited to have you hang out here today. So if this is your first time, welcome. And if you're a regular guest, welcome back. So last week, I started out my Monday how I do most Mondays. I dropped my kids off at school, and then straight from there, I went to the grocery store. I always order my food online on Sundays so that I can just head right there. I pull into the exact same spot every single time, stall number 5, and get my food for the week. And as I was driving home, I was thinking about the inspiration that I get a lot of times from seeing what other people eat and shop for. And so I was like, oh, what the heck? Let's share my grocery haul. Not thinking that too many people would care, but holy crap, my DMs on Instagram blew up. And it turns out that there's a lot of you who feel the same way about food and groceries and meal planning and the ways that we feed our families and just trying to eat and live healthy, but to also do that without feeling totally and completely overwhelmed all of the time. So, in the spirit of continuing the conversation that I've been having in my DMs and giving the people, giving you what you want, I am doing an episode dedicated all to groceries, to the grocery haul, how I plan my meals, what I buy every week, the snacks I get that help me hit my macros but still stay full, and anything else related to my grocery haul. So buckle up, here we go. All right, so first things first, before I can get into what I shop for, I want to share with you how I shop. So I do the majority of my grocery shopping online, and I use the pickup option. There's also a delivery option that you could use as well, but pickup works well for me. If I don't have to go inside of a store, I'm not going to. Besides being able to shop from the convenience of my own home, on my couch, in my pajamas, it also helps me to skip on splurging on little last minute items or things that catch my eye or random treats that just look or sound really good at the moment, but I know maybe aren't the best choices for me or my family. So shopping online from my home helps me really stick to what I need and not go off the trail. So before I even pull up the site to order on, I first have to plan out my week a little bit. So I try to just shop once a week. I found that amount of time works really well for my family. I've tried before to do 2 weeks at a time, but I found that we weren't using some of the fresh produce as fast as we could and things were going bad and it just didn't work. So once a week works really well. Shop on Sundays, pick up on Mondays, and then I'm good to go for the week. But I plan my meals out ahead of time. I use Sundays to look at my calendar, see what's going on for the week, and then plan out those dinners so that I know what's going on. It is important for me to mention that I do not cook dinner every night. I know my bandwidth, and right now in the season that I'm in, with the things I've got going on and the goals I have for myself and my family, a home-cooked meal 7 nights a week just isn't in alignment with the things that we've got going on right now. I know that I can usually pull off 4 dinners, sometimes 5. Sunday dinners are pretty much a constant for us. And then I'll plan for Monday through Thursday. One of those might be a hit or miss day. And then our weekends are saved for date nights, takeout, and leftovers. So I know I've got about 4 days, sometimes 5, that I need to plan for. All right, so that is how I plan ahead, how I shop. If you want to dive a little bit more into that, in episode 34, I talk a little bit more about how you can get dinner on the table for your family more consistently. So check that episode out if you want a little bit more. But now I'm ready to shop. So since I just finished planning out my dinners for the week, that's where I start with my grocery shopping. I'll pull up my website or the app and I will look over the ingredients that I have planned for each meal and make sure that I've got all the things that I need. If I need to order chicken for a meal and make sure that I've got all of the things, I pull up and go through the recipes and add those to my online order. Now, as a side note, a lot of the recipes I've been using lately are from Elise Ellis's subscription service. Her, if you go to macro friendly meals, nope, that's not it. Hang on. Okay, so if you go to macrofriendlyfood.com, you can check out Elise's meal plan service that she has, and it is amazing. It's super simple. Sometimes I get really intimidated, wow, by a lot of meal subscription services and things because they can be really labor intensive, but these ones are quick, they're easy. She's got 4 kids, she knows what it's like, so I use a ton of her recipes. It's like $10 a month, and I think that it is totally worth it. All right, so we've got that side note out of the way. So after I've got all of my dinners taken care of and I've ordered all of the ingredients I need, the next thing I focus on is protein. I like to prioritize my protein because it's important. And why is it important? Well, all right, so out of the 3 main macros, carbs, fats, and protein is what keeps you feeling full the longest. And I know that when I am consistently eating enough protein throughout the day, I tend to snack less. I don't get as many cravings. I don't hit that like 3 o'clock crash. And protein also helps you build muscle. It helps you keep muscle when you're losing weight. You don't want to lose all that stuff that you work to build. And the more muscle mass you have, the faster you burn fat. There's just so many good things about protein. And it's hard to make sure that you're getting enough. So I really want to make sure that I'm focusing on it and making it a priority without feeling like I'm just continuously eating slabs of meat and like getting into that like gym bro vibe. So here's a couple of ways that I add more protein in and things that I focus on. So starting with the first meal of the day with breakfast, eggs. Eggs are a complete given. And egg whites are an even better way to get more protein without the added fat. So a lot of times, if I'm making like a scramble or an omelet, I'll use 1 full egg and then add in an extra 1/4 or 1/2 cup of egg whites to just up that protein. But then I'm still getting the full good flavor of a full egg mixed in with it. I will also make up a big batch of hard-boiled eggs at the very beginning of the week and just have those on hand. Now, I personally don't like hard-boiled egg yolks. I never have. So I will just peel 2 or 3, toss the yolk, and then throw on some salt or some everything but the bagel seasoning or whatever else, and just throw back a couple of hard-boiled egg whites. And it's like 3 egg whites, I think, is like 27 grams of protein. So it's a crazy easy way to get a lot of protein for virtually no carbs, no fats, and like very, very little calories. So that's a super easy way to add protein in first thing in the morning. Oats or oatmeal is another easy breakfast, and I pump up the protein there by just adding a scoop of protein powder or collagen and just stirring it right in and then adding whatever toppings I want, bananas, strawberries, whatever. And then I've got good carbs to start my day with energy, and I've also got protein. You can do the same thing with pancakes, making them protein pancakes. Kodiak cakes makes it super easy to do, and you can find them at most grocery stores as well. Greek yogurt is another favorite of mine, and I will usually doctor mine up a little bit. Instead of just eating it straight out of the container, I will add a scoop of collagen and top it with some fruit or granola and really turn it into like a yogurt parfait. And by adding that collagen, I've just upped the protein to like 20 grams, like easy peasy. So there's just little tweaks you can make to just bump up that protein here and there. Let's see. And of course, for breakfast, there's the ever popular option of a protein shake. You can either grab a quick pre-made one. I love the Premier Proteins. The banana one is absolutely delicious. So is the peach. Okay, so is the cookies and cream. I like a lot of them. And those are such a quick option to just grab on the go, or you can make one yourself. You want to be careful there that you're not throwing in like too many things and like having your calories and carbs and sugar go through the roof. But a protein shake is such a quick and easy way to go. And here's another pro tip for you. Instead of using a banana to make your shakes creamier, you can throw in Greek yogurt instead. And that way you're saving on some of those carbs and adding in a little bit more protein. Not that bananas are bad for you. Bananas are amazing. But, just being mindful of your ratios and what you're adding in or whatever. All right, so for lunches, I tend to keep my lunches super simple and I repeat them a lot just for the sake of ease and not overcomplicating things. So ways that I hit my protein for lunch is turkey, ham, pre-cooked bacon. I will use a lot of that to make sandwiches or wraps or paninis. Making up a quick chicken salad and eating that on some crackers. Chicken pita pizzas are so good. Like, oh, those are delicious. You just top a pita with whatever you want, throw it under the broiler for like 3 minutes and pull it out and you are set. Salads are always good and easy and that helps you get in your micronutrients as well. And then of course I will use leftovers from dinner all the time because that makes it just super easy. And you know that I am all about the ease here. All right, so we've got breakfast taken care of, lunches taken care of. So now it's on to snacks and a couple other of the staples and favorites that I like to have around my house to help me stay on track, hit my goals, stay full, feel good, all the things. Number 1 is low-fat string cheese. I always have string cheese on hand. It's just so quick and easy, and I love cheese. So it's a win-win on all accounts there. Greek yogurt, popcorn, protein bars. My favorite there are the Fit Crunch bars and the Built bars are absolutely delicious. And both of those have really, really good macros. Protein drinks are another one that I always have on hand. Like I said, I have the Premier proteins. And then I'll also have just a powdered protein that I can make my own stuff with. Of course, collagen. And then I got turned on to these popped protein crisps. They're like these barbecue chip things, but a serving of them has 10 grams of protein. And I was a little skeptical, but they are actually really, really good. So those are going into my list of my staples now. Some people like cottage cheese, and it's a really good source of protein. I don't personally love cottage cheese. I cannot get over the texture. I never have been able to. But if cottage cheese is something you love, girl, you do you. You eat that cottage cheese. You top that with whatever you want. And you've got a great snack and some really good protein. The pre-cooked bacon is awesome. You can throw that on sandwiches, eat it with eggs, throw it on salads if you crumple it up. Like that's always such a good option to have. And then it's pre-cooked, so you just heat it up for like 15 seconds and you don't have to have your house be like this bacon greasy smelling place for 10 years. Okay, and then another quick easy protein hack is plain Greek yogurt, and then I'll get those ranch dip packets. And instead of mixing those with, I think they say to do it with like sour cream or whatever, or rather than just using a thing of ranch, mix the ranch dip packet into plain Greek yogurt. And then you've got a ranch dip that you can dip your cucumbers in, your carrots in, your broccoli, whatever else you want to dip your ranch in to eat more vegetables. But then you don't have to feel bad about covering them in ranch because this ranch is loaded with protein because you use Greek yogurt. It's so creamy. It's really, really good. Don't knock it till you try it. That is a really good way to get in protein and your veggies and like feel super good about it. So there is a protein hack for you. And then of course, I always have my main proteins that I'll have for our dinners like chicken, salmon, different kinds of steak or beef, turkey, all of that, and I'll build our meals around that. Wow, this episode is chock full of good stuff. Want to know what else is full of good stuff? Juice Organics. It is my go-to solution for getting more greens in my diet because let's face it, sometimes getting in enough veggies is hard, but not anymore. Now I'm basically juicing every single day. but without the hassle and without the mess. With just 1 scoop of Juice Organics, I'm giving my body over 40 organic fruits and vegetables grown by local organic farmers. Juice Organics' mission is to inspire and empower families to live healthier lives by making it simple. Well, I'd say mission accomplished. Right now, you can get 2 for the price of 1 with a special buy 1, get 1 free discount just for podcast listeners. Head to juiceorganics.com. That's juice, Juice, and then use the code POSITIVEU, that's positive and the letter U, at checkout to score your discount. Now, let's get back into the show. Woo! All right, that was a lot for protein. So let's move on. The next thing I focus on is making sure that I have got ways to get in my fruits and my vegetables. So the first thing that I'll do is kind of think about the dinners that I've got planned and figure out what vegetables will go good with those. If it's a steak, asparagus might go really well, or can I do something with carrots, or, just kind of feeling what's going to go and what I will like to eat and what my family will like to eat. And being 100% honest, it's a little bit tricky. So I totally rely on my favorite secret weapon. You already know what it is, Juice Organics, to help me get in my veggies, because then I know they're taken care of. Then I don't have to really worry about it. And anything else I have is just a bonus and icing on the cake. So I'll say it 1,000 times more. You need to have a greens drink. It will just help take out so much of the headache of figuring out how to get all your greens in. But another way that I do is think of ways that I can add veggies into things. Spinach is one of those things that is so freaking versatile, and you can hide it in a bunch of things. So I always make sure that I have a bag of that on hand as well to throw it, in my omelets, in my shakes, in my sandwiches, on my salads. That's one that is like a no-brainer to have. And then I will make sure that I just go really crazy on the fruits. I love having a lot of different fruits on hand because they're so much better to snack on when you get a craving for something sweet than heading to the pantry and opening it up and staring at all the whatever's in there. Just go for a fruit instead. And one of my favorite treats to make is fruit nachos. So our fruit nachos started out once upon a time as sliced apples and peanut butter. And then I started drizzling the peanut butter on the apple slices instead. And then we started adding chocolate and peanut butter. And then we've just completely overhauled it and taken it to another level. So now our fruit nachos include sliced apples, sliced bananas, strawberries, and clementines. I will melt peanut butter and pour it all over, melt chocolate and drizzle it all over, and then I will top it with some granola for an added crunch, and oh my goodness gracious, it is so dang good, and it's a hit with my kids for their after-school snacks. I love it as a midday snack. It is perfect to hold you over until dinner time or even as an after-dinner dessert. Fruit nachos, you have to try them. They are so good, and seriously, tag me on Instagram, message me, let me know when you do, because you will never go back. They are the best way to eat all of your fruit. All right, so once I've loaded up on the fruits and the vegetables, then I kind of focus on the other snack things or just whatever else that I need to have on hand. So a lot of those things are, I'll just go over a couple quick things that I love to have. So I've already mentioned that I love sandwiches, but that bread can totally derail you. So the Sara Lee 45 calorie bread was a life-changing, game-changer find for me because now I can have my sandwiches but not be like, 500 calories, 600 calories in just with the bread. I also really love the carb balanced tortillas. They are like half the calories. They have so much fiber in them and they are just amazing. So for my sandwiches or for my wraps, those are my 2 go-tos. Then I also love the Good Thins crackers. They're these like corn crackers, little squares, kind of like a wheat thin, but they're corn. And The macros on these are flippin' amazing. You know how when you look at a serving size and it's like really depressing because it's like 2 things? With these, you get like 40 crackers in a serving. It's unheard of. It's amazing. I love to use these to scoop up my chicken salads or eat with like a string cheese and some craisins or some fruit and do kind of like a cheese and cracker board or whatever for snack time. So those are amazing. Then I love to have canned chicken on hand to throw together that chicken salad really, really quick. And another one of my finds that will elevate your wraps and your sandwiches is the garden herb cream cheese. A little goes a long way, and you just like put a little bit down on your wrap, throw on your turkey and your cheese and your bacon and all your veggies, wrap that thing up, and it just gives it like the creamiest, yummiest texture. It is so delicious. Okay, so those are some of my top ones. I also love to have on hand the Trop 50 orange juice because I love orange juice, but I hate wasting so many calories on it. This one cuts it like in half, and then I will mix it together with a vanilla protein powder to make an orange vanilla smoothie. That is just amazing. Okay, I also always have, like I said, my protein bars, my Built bars, my Fit Crunch bars. I love to have pitas to make pizzas where I can just throw on a bunch of chicken and make like a barbecue chicken pizza. It takes like 3 minutes in the broiler, easy peasy. I always have my Vital Proteins collagen because that is so easy to mix into so many different things and just up that protein a little bit. And then another thing that I always have on hand are flavor mix-ins like a Crystal Light or a True Lemon, because you know I'm always drinking my water, but plain water gets real boring real fast, and so I like to mix it up. So I always have a couple of those on hand. They have regular ones, and they also have ones with caffeine, so I'll use those as like a pre-workout. And then popcorn, my Premier Proteins, and just making sure that I've got little things to snack on, but that I'm being kind of intentional about the snacking. So that is where we're at. We have got our dinners taken care of. We've got our protein taken care of, fruits, veggies, snack items to pull everything together. And finally, I make sure that I've got some sort of treat or dessert on hand. You know that I do not believe in depriving yourself to hit your goals. Yes, you do need to be smart, but you don't need to like torture yourself. So with that being said, I do try to make sure that the treats that I have in my house are still going to help me hit my goals. They're still going to help me continue to feel good and not send me into a crazy binge spiral. For example, I absolutely love Oreos. I never have them in the house because I know I'll go nuts on them. I know they're not going to make me feel good. And so those are something that I just don't buy because they just don't need a place in my home. But I will make sure that I've got things like chocolate chips on hand to, make my fruit nachos or to throw on top of a yogurt. And I always have my Yazzo bars. And in the summer, I make sure I have those Outshine popsicles that are just absolutely delicious. I also love having popcorn on hand or any other ingredient that I can make like a macro-friendly dessert. And again, I'm going to plug Elise because she has some amazing dessert recipes. We made her Tres Leches cake and it was absolutely amazing. So I'll make sure that I've got things like that on hand so that I'm still having dessert, but still being able to hit my goals and feel good and still feel healthy and not hit that crash after you've just eaten a bunch of crap. So there you have it, a little, not so little breakdown of my grocery hauls, how I do it and what I get. So just to recap, number 1 is I make a plan for the week. It's usually just dinners, but then I'll write down ideas and options that I have for snacks and lunches so that I just know what I've got on hand and I can grab it quickly. Number 2 is order online and choose a pickup or delivery option so that you can skip the store. Number 3 is prioritize your proteins. Number 4 is make sure you have ways to get in your fruits and veggies. Number 5 is picking healthy snack items and kind of filling in the gaps. And then number 6 is making sure that you've got a treat and a dessert that won't completely derail you, but still makes you feel awesome. So there you go. That is the meal planning and grocery shopping method that I currently am using. And if you found this helpful, I have this broken down into a free download for you on my website. You can grab it at jessielarson.com/episode 35. It's all right there for you. Thanks so much for listening. I'll hang out with you guys next week. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.